So to subtract 1/3 minus 1/4, I need a common denominator. The common denominator in this case is going to be 12. So I need a times by 4 on the bottom to get 3 times 4 is 1/12. And then I need to do the same on the top. And I get 4 to 12 is equivalent to 1 out of 3. For the 1/4, I need a 12 in the denominator. So I need to do a times 3 in the denominator. 4 times 3 gives me the 12, but I have to do a times 3 on top to keep the same fraction. So I get an equivalent fraction of 3 over 12. Okay, when I subtract those, I'm going to end up with 1. 4 take away 3 is 1. I have the same size pieces, so I can take away those denominators. But remember that the denominator or the size of the fraction stay the same. So what does this look like? I start with my 1/3 fraction. So there's my 1/3 fraction. I have a 1/4 fraction over here to start with. I'll just shade that in blue. So there's my 1/4 fraction. And then what happened? Well, I needed to divide I times by 4. So I needed groups of 4. So I had groups of 4, groups of 4, groups of 4. That gives me my 4/12. For the 1/4, I needed to do groups of 3. Since I times by 3, there's my groups of 3, and then I end up with 1/12. So taking 4/12, take away 3/12, I'm going to end up with 1/12. So just drawing this in then, I can have my 1/12 pieces like this, and I'm going to just be left with the 1/12 section here. For the next one, 3/4 and 1/8, the common denominator is going to be 8. So to get the denominator 4 to become 8, I need to do it times 2. And I need to do that on top and bottom. That's going to give me 6/8. And it's going to be minus the 1/8. So I just had a times by 1 here. And my 3/4, so just starting with my 3/4, my 3/4 fraction is going to be these 3 out of 4, but I made them into eighths by doing times 2. Times 2 is just putting into groups of 2 for the numerator and denominator. My 1/8 fraction is really just divide by, I'm going to just do half and halves. So my 1/8 fraction, when I subtract those, I'm left with 5/8 as my solution. So drawing that in, so I had my 6 1/8 pieces. I'm left with only 5 when I take away that 1/8 piece. So again, the key is to, when we add or subtract fractions, we're counting. Either we're counting together or counting against, but it's counting. We need the same size fractions or a common denominator to be able to add and subtract. Okay, and when we add, we just count the numerator. We keep this denominator, which is the size of the fraction, the same. So we never add the denominators.